Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you guys for taking time from your day to be here and listen to my presentation. Past presentations have been kind of focused on things to stay away from and things not to do, and this is going to be a little different flair because a lot of this stuff is readily available to you, doesn't cost anything, and these are all things that you want to do and want to incorporate, with the exception of one slide, which goes back to all the other things. So you got to stick it in there, you know. So we're going to look at today science-backed ways to support your body's natural detox systems, promote healthy aging, and we're going to look into longevity and what it is. This presentation will cover a wide range of topics essential to your vitality, longevity, and just your quality of life in general. What is longevity? In the health science field, longevity emphasizes several topics. Lifespan is the total number of years that a person lives. That can look a lot of different ways. I think being in an environment like this, we all know that. Health span is the number of years lived in good health, free from chronic disease or disability. And then biological age versus chronological age. If anyone has been on the scale up in the gym that does body composition, there's a line item on there that says biological age. So your chronological age is decided by how many years in your lifespan at this point. But your biological age is determined by different factors. And one thing that scale does is it gives you body composition. It can look at your body composition and your age and give you a biological age. You want that number to be less than your chronological age. If it's higher, we definitely need to talk. But that's what that refers to. So longevity strategies aim to slow down your biological aging so your body functions more youthfully than your calendar age would suggest. Oh, wrong direction. So I hear this a lot, genetics. I just have bad genes, it runs in the family. And while that's not completely untrue, the current research suggests something a little bit different. Genetics contribute to only about 20 to 25% to your lifespan, according to research from twin population studies, and I noted the study here at the bottom. And there are others, but this is one in particular. The remaining 75 to 80% is influenced by modifiable lifestyle and environmental factors. Let's take a second and let that set in. Lifestyle factors and environmental factors such as diet, number one on the list, physical activity, sleep, stress resilience, social connection, environmental toxin exposure, there it is, told you it was going to come back, smoking and alcohol use. This means that your daily habits matter more than your DNA when it comes to how you age. So what supports longevity? Longevity, again, refers to the length and the quality of life, how long we live and how well we age. While genetics do play a role, although it be small, smaller than most might think, research shows that lifestyle factors have a greater impact. Key contributors, we're going to look through sleep, as I mentioned, stress management, whole food, nutrient-rich diet, regular movement and strength training, social connection, and minimizing toxic exposure. And everything that I mentioned on here is free and available to everyone here. And even if you didn't have access to a gym and to a trainer, you can create physical activity just in your daily life. There's an interesting thing called blue zones. Has anyone ever heard of blue zones? Yeah. You can raise your hand. Yeah? No? Some people haven't? Some people have? Okay. Blue zones, the term was coined by a gentleman named Dan Buttner, and he's a researcher. And he identified regions in the world where people consistently live longer, healthier lives, often reaching 100 years or more. So we're looking at places where there are more centenarians than any other place. And so the 5 regions that he identified are Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya Peninsula, Costa Rica, which that's my retirement plan place there, just so you know. Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California. Loma Linda, California is a little different than all these because it's in the United States. And what I found when I looked into it, it's a large group of Seventh-day Adventists. So it's a large religious group of individuals. And the secrets to longevity in the blue zones tie right into the things that we talked about with a few additionals. Whole food diets. Meals are centered around vegetables, beans, whole grains, nuts, with minimally processed foods and meat. Much different than the average American diet. I knew it was coming. They regularly move, they walk, they garden, they do manual tasks, and they don't really attend gyms, so their movement comes in their daily routines. Social connections, family and community are central to daily life. They reduces loneliness and stress. That is a benefit that you have being in a community like this, for sure. They have a sense of purpose. Having a reason to wake up each day promotes mental and emotional health. Stress reduction rituals. I like this one, napping. But also praying, spending quiet time are often common practices in these regions with these people that live such long lives. They moderate their calorie intake. Okinawans, for example, have a rule. It's called the 80% rule. It's they stop eating when they're 80% full. What a novel idea. Requires some mindfulness though, right? Like we said sometimes when we just mindlessly eat in front of a TV or a screen or bag of chips, and the next thing you know it's empty. So they're mindful. They're connected to how their body feels and how they're responding to the things that they're putting in. So that's the 80% rule. They stop eating when they're 80% full. And just to add to that, I have a thing at my house, it's from somewhere that I read, is that when you finish whatever food you've allotted yourself, wait 15 minutes. There's generally a delay between the satiety that you'll feel and the food that you've just eaten. So I tell my husband when he says, I want seconds, wait 15 minutes. He generally doesn't come back because, one, he's not really still hungry, or he's forgotten about it. So either way, it's a win. Another thing is their spirituality and religious engagement. Regular participation in faith-based communities correlates with lower stress and better health. These habits, combined with supportive environments, contribute to their exceptional health and longevity. And then we'll start to go through these topics that we had previously mentioned on slide 4, and we'll go through them kind of one at a time. The importance of sleep. It's free, right? Sometimes it's hard to find though, particularly as we age. Quality sleep is essential for physical health, cognitive function, emotional well-being, and overall longevity, especially in older adults, as everything starts to slow down. As people age, sleep patterns naturally change, often resulting in lighter, shorter sleep and increased nighttime wakenings, those bathroom trips. However, poor sleep should not be dismissed as a normal advent of aging, because quality sleep is so important and it's critical for memory consolidation, learning, even reducing the risk of cognitive decline, according to a study in 2015 by Scullin and Bolwise. It regulates mood. Insufficient sleep can leave us depressed, irritable, and anxious. It enhances immune function. So your body, when you sleep, does all of its repair and cleanup. If you're not getting adequate sleep, your immune system will suffer. I found this one interesting. It improves balance and function and reduces risks of falls. Then it kind of made sense that sleep deprivation can impair coordination. If you've ever gone days or traveled long times and you just don't feel like you got it all together, you're dropping things. So adequate sleep can actually help reduce the likelihood of falls and injuries. And it even ties into metabolic and cardiovascular health. Chronic sleep loss is linked to hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and obesity, which are already prevalent in older adults. So the consequences of poor sleep range from increased inflammation, slower healing, higher risk of chronic diseases, decline in cognitive function, daytime fatigue, and decreased functionality. So sleep is super important. And we can talk about further on, or maybe in the question section, what proper sleep hygiene looks like and ways to improve your own sleep patterns. Stress management. So stress management for healthy aging. We all know that stress can have physiological consequences. There are even diseases that they say can be caused or exacerbated by stress. Bowel things are one of those. Chronic stress can wear down the body over time, raising inflammation, disrupting your sleep, and accelerating aging. The good news is simple daily practices can help calm your nervous system and support your overall wellness. And some of the effective strategies include deep breathing, which we're going to go over here. We're going to do some breathing techniques. Taking slow, deep breaths can lower your blood pressure. You're ever stressed out and someone says, oh, just take a few deep breaths. There's actually a lot of power in that. It slows the heart rate and signals safety to your brain. So we're going to go through diaphragmatic breathing in a minute. Gentle movement, activities like walking, stretching, chair yoga. We have a chair yoga class here at the ARC, if you didn't know that. My little plug, 1 o'clock, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Over in the, what is it called? The health room, yes, I like that. That's not what it's called. Mindfulness and meditation. So we also do a 10-minute guided meditation after the movement practice. But you can do meditation from anywhere. Being present in the moment can calm a racing mind and improve focus. You can try guided meditations, nature sounds, just instrumental music. Whatever works for you is what the best strategy is. But with apps these days and the computer access, you can find all kinds of guided meditations, free stuff on YouTube and other places. Gratitude journaling. This is another way to reduce stress. You get all the thoughts out of your head onto a piece of paper, and this can be a good nighttime practice also. But it reminds you of what you're thankful for and can improve mood and outlook over time. Diaphragmatic belly breathing. I mentioned that briefly, and what that is, it's called belly breathing. It's a simple, powerful relaxation technique. Unlike shallow chest breathing, which most of us do, right? We don't really think about it. I don't remember the number of breaths you take in a day, but it's a lot. But they're usually very shallow. So this is an intentional deep breathing deep into the belly. This method engages the diaphragm, the large muscle below the lungs. The practice is to sit comfortably with your hand on your chest. We'll go through that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Practicing 5 to 10 minutes a day can lower blood pressure, reduce stress, improve oxygen exchange, and support better sleep. It's a wonderful tool, and this is kind of a diagram. I think it's in your pamphlet there. Diaphragmatic belly breathing guide, or deep breathing. So we're going to do this, if you'll just free your hands for a moment. So we're going to sit. Hopefully you're in a comfortable position. You're going to place one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly. And you're going to breathe in through your nose. And the objective is to feel the bottom hand, your belly hand, start to rise, start to move as you breathe. So I like to say, think about breathing deep into the belly versus shallow into the lungs. So we're going to inhale for a count of 5. And then exhale slowly through pursed lips. So you're going to inhale for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a deep breath. 5. Exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So very simple technique. It's something you can work on. Another thing that it will do is it will increase your lung capacity. The more you can oxygenate your muscles, the more you can oxygenate your brain, the better off you're going to be. So diaphragmatic belly breathing. There'll be a quiz after the presentation, so make sure you know how to do that. And you'll have to spell it, yes. Moving on, longevity and whole food nutrient-rich diet. This is probably the one place where you might have less control. I would argue that you still have control. But you want to fill your diet with whole foods. One of the most powerful ways to support healthy aging is with nutrients. Your body can't build anything. It can't build proteins. It can't perform any function if it doesn't have the raw materials that it needs. And that comes through nutrition. Fresh vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, seeds, lean proteins. This says whole grains. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Not my favorite thing, but there it is. They provide the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants your body needs to repair and fight disease. Nutrient dense means getting more nutrition per calorie, helping cells function optimally while maintaining a healthy weight. Diets rich in whole foods help reduce chronic inflammation, support brain health, and protect against age-related conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and osteoporosis. In simple terms, eating closer to nature, minimally processed foods in their natural form provides the raw materials for cellular repair, energy, and long-term wellness. Movement and longevity benefits. Moving your body every day, whether it's walking, stretching, dancing, keeps your system strong and sharp and your body more youthful. Movement is truly the medicine for healthy aging. Ties into the nutrition though. If you're not well nourished, you don't feel like moving. So those two, I would say, are definitely very bound together. Why it matters. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass and strength. There's a condition called sarcopenia. It's a nasty word, right? It's loss of muscle over time. So the process of sarcopenia can be fought off with exercise, particularly strength training. Regular activity can fight this decline that normally leads to weakness, falls, and fractures. Strength training, even light resistance bands or body weight exercises, help preserve muscle mass and bone density. Walking and aerobic activities support circulation, heart health, and endurance. And balance and flexibility exercises reduce fall risks and improve daily mobility. Maintaining muscle mass is strongly linked to longer health span. Not just years in life, but of independent, active living. And research shows over and over that seniors who stay active and maintain strength have lower risks of chronic disease, better immune function, and higher quality of life. In simple terms, movement is medicine. Keep muscles strong and active, protect your independence and vitality, and it's a key ingredient for a longer life. Here at the ARC, I would say you're blessed, not because of me, but you have a fantastic fitness facility. You have wonderful programs in place that all you have to do is show up. You don't have to know anything about exercise. I encourage you to plug yourself in somewhere if you're not already. Social connection and longevity benefits, another place you guys really benefit in this community. Staying socially connected is just as important to longevity as diet and exercise. Strong relationships with friends, family, and community not only make life more enjoyable, but also help people live stronger and healthier. If you're depressed, sad, and lonely, it's not a very good quality of life. So connection with others can make life more enjoyable. It also protects your brain. Research shows that social engagement reduces the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Boosts emotional well-being, strengthens the immune system, supports healthy habits. Friends and community can encourage you to better nutrition, physical activity, and lifestyle choices. I know we talked about when we did the January challenge, finding an exercise buddy, finding a walking buddy, find someone that maybe on the day you don't feel like it, they're going to encourage you. I always say there's strength in numbers. So having a social connection, an exercise buddy can be a great thing. So spending time with others, and even if it's sharing a meal, joining group activities, volunteering, simply laughing keeps your mind and body and spirit healthier and helps have a better health span. Here's the one I told you. Reducing exposure to toxins and environment and food. Every day our bodies come in contact with toxins, whether it be from the food we eat, to the water we drink, or even the air we breathe. Household products, we just can't eliminate all the exposures even if we tried. But we can make smart choices to reduce our toxic load. You have to bear in mind that these things add up over time. Protect your long-term health and longevity by making those daily choices. Why does it matter? Well, it supports organ health. Lowering exposure reduces strain on the liver, which is the body's natural detox organ. The kidneys, which also help by filtering out things through urine. The gut, which we know all of our neurotransmitters for our brain are made in our gut, so a healthy gut is super important. And these things naturally detox the body, but if they're too busy fighting off things that we're putting in, it can't do the natural processes that it needs to do for the body. So it protects hormones and metabolisms. We talked about toxins like BPAs in plastics, PFASs, your forever chemicals, pesticides. All these things disrupt the hormones, clog up the system, and keep our body from doing the natural detox processes that it would do on its own. Simple ways to reduce toxic exposure. Be choosing whole fresh foods, organic if you can. If you cannot, cleaning the vegetation before you eat it. Just a simple bath in baking soda removes a large percentage of toxins on any kind of fruit that you're going to eat the skin. Baking soda is very cheap too. You can buy, I think it's like a, 10-pound bag at Costco for under $5. Lots of uses for baking soda. Washing the fruits thoroughly, choosing organic, limiting plastics. Everything is in plastic. We talked about that. If you missed the microplastics, even cans today have a plastic liner inside of them. So we do our best. I drink out of a stainless steel glass. We try to get rid of all the plastics in our house. Containers are now glass instead of plastic. These are small things, and it may take time. It doesn't have to be done in one day, but just minimizing and being aware of times that you're exposing yourself, and certainly never heating plastic in the microwave. No one would do that, right? Okay. Drinking filtered water. This is something really simple too. You can buy a filtration system underneath your sink, or you can even get a countertop one. That's what I have, is a countertop one. It has some carbon filters and some other filters up top. You just dump the water in, wait for it, gravity puts it into the container at the bottom, and you have very clean filtered water. So this helps reduce heavy metal toxicity, chlorine, PFAs, fluorides, all different kind of things just by filtering the drinking water. And then the body's natural detox pathways, which the liver being the most important, it filters out drugs that we take, metabolizes drugs. It also processes nutrients, and it makes it hard for the liver to process nutrients when it's so caught up with detoxing the body. So we want to have a healthy liver. We want to keep our bodies clean. The liver is remarkable, and it's the main detox powerhouse, processing toxins and excess hormones. The kidneys filter the blood and maintain balance, while the lungs clear carbon dioxide and pollutants. The skin is actually a detox method of the body. Probably not really thought of much, but when you sweat, you're detoxifying your body. That's the way your body gets rid of toxins. And that's why saunas are so good. You get in the sauna and you're able to generate sweat in a way that you probably wouldn't in your daily activity. But we do live in Texas. You don't have to go far outside the door to get a little sweat going. All right? And I know there's people like, oh, I don't want to sweat. It's very good for you. Stay hydrated, do it smart, but it is a way for your body to detoxify and get rid of things that it needs to get rid of. The lymphatic system, it's like the body's drainage system, carrying waste and supporting immunity. Deep tissue massage or massage of any kind helps the lymphatic system when the lymphatic system gets shut down, because you're pushing and you're creating blood flow and you're moving things. So that's another way that kind of passively get the lymphatic system going, is by getting a massage. These pathways are directly tied to longevity. When detox systems are efficient, inflammation is lowered, cells are healthier, organs function better for longer. Over time, reducing toxic load and supporting these natural systems with good sleep, hydration, nutrient-rich foods, and movement help to extend both your lifespan, number of years, and your health span, health of those years. Smart supplementation. So no matter how clean we eat in the food system that we have today, everything has less nutrients in it than it used to. People don't do regenerative farming. The soil itself has less nutrients, so even if you're doing the best of the best, still sometimes we fall short. So that's when we look at supplementation. As we age, nutrient absorption and dietary needs change. Certain supplements can help fill the gaps. It's always smart to start with diet first, but supplements can fill the gaps, not replace the food. So things that are important for seniors, I just compiled a small list here. I think this is in your packet. Vitamin D3 supports bone health, immunity, and may slow biological aging. Many seniors are deficient due to no sunshine. The skin is the largest organ in the body, and every cell in your body has a receptor that can make vitamin D from sunshine. So when we stay inside and we're around fluorescent light and we never get in the sun, we can become very deficient in vitamin D. So D3 is a great supplement, particularly for seniors. I'm looking for another page. I had one here. There's a whole research article, and it goes into D3 and how it can really slow aging, even deeper than the bone health and other things. I'll make that available to you. I'm not seeing it here. Is it in there? Okay, it's just not in mine. So look at that, and if you're interested in that, I think I put the research article in there also. Vitamin B12, if you're not eating a lot of red meats or animal products, it's very easy to become deficient in B12. Absorption declines with age, and it's vital for nerve health, energy, and cognitive function. And I think in the previous presentation, it even talked about B12 and K2 helping with neuropathy. I'd have to reference that again to be exact, but it makes sense if it helps with nerves that it would help with things that are nerve related. Calcium in K2 supports bones, the calcium does, and the K2 tells the calcium where to go. Does anybody remember that? So you can take a lot of calcium, but if you're deficient in K2, that calcium is just in your bloodstream junking up your arteries and your veins, which is part of atherosclerosis. But when you take the nutrition store, any nutrition store, you can get it from Amazon.
You don't get it from any natural food?
Yeah, it's in food sources. And I have a list of all the foods that contain K2. Guess what's one of them? No, starts with an S though. What is it?
Sardines.
Sardines. Yeah, loaded with K2. But there are others. But what the K2 does is it tells the calcium where to go. It tells the calcium to go into the bones. So that's super important. Yes. And we'll have time for questions at the end. I know I appreciate your input, I do. But we'll go over all that and how to find appropriate supplements and that type of thing. Magnesium. This is something that not just seniors, but a large percentage of the U.S. population are magnesium deficient. There are 7 different types of magnesium. Magnesium baths or Epsom salt baths is a great way to replenish it. I know we don't have bathtubs here, but the skin being the largest organ, you get in hot water, you put your Epsom salt in there, and it absorbs in through the skin. If you don't have that available to you, there are oral supplements, but it's important for muscle function. So when your heart contracts, right, that's magnesium, or releases. Heart rhythm and stress resilience, all tied to magnesium. Omega-3 fatty acids, your DPA and your DHA, support brain, heart, and joint function. And then protein supplements. You got all kinds of protein supplements. Whey, collagen, plant-based, animal-based. I have a preference, and it's not a protein, it's an amino acid, actually. It's an amino acid complex, which we can talk about. Because what happens when you ingest protein, you don't get protein from protein. Your body still has to break it down. And what it breaks it down into are amino acids. So if you just put in the amino acids, it's more bioavailable because your body doesn't have to do that breakdown process. And it's more readily absorbed and more utilized in the body. When we choose high quality supplements, again, Amazon, I've seen some things where there's fake stuff, believe it or not. You want a company or a brand that does third-party testing. There's not a lot of regulation by the FDA required for supplements, but if you find a product, you always want to make sure that somewhere on that packet or somewhere in their literature it says that they are third-party tested, meaning that their stuff goes randomly to a third party, not involved or monetarily rewarded, and it's checked for quality, quantity, toxicity, and those types of things. You want to avoid megadosing. Unless prescribed, more is not always better. I know the mentality is, well, if a little's good, a lot's better. That's not the case. Just tax the liver, right? Now your body's got things it has to just get rid of. In simple terms, supplements can be powerful allies for seniors, but the smartest approach is targeted, choosing the right ones in safe amounts, and complementary to health and lifestyle. There's a recent, I did put it in here, maybe I did. This goes back to the foods and urolithin A. So urolithin A, has anybody heard of urolithin A? Oh, wrong direction. It's okay if you haven't. No? No one? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Urolithin A is a natural compound that the body can produce when we eat foods rich in alligotannins, found in pomegranates. It gives it the color. Berries, and it's actually in walnuts also. However, not everyone's gut microbiome makes it efficiently, which is why research is looking into supplementation. In a recent clinical trial at the University of Connecticut, adults who ate about a half a cup of walnuts or a generous handful of walnuts each day for 3 weeks produced more urolithin A and had lower inflammation markers in their blood, and particularly in their colon tissue. It reduced expressions of proteins linked to tumor growth related to colon cancer. Pretty interesting. Not everyone's gut can make urolithin A. Only about 30% of people have the right gut microbiome to produce it. But walnuts offer plenty of benefits either way. For those in the 30%, the payoff may be even greater. Connecting a snack you enjoy to measurable changes in your body that can support long-term protection, in particular against colon cancer. Urolithin A, other things that it does, it helps with cellular cleanup called mitophagy. I don't know if we've ever touched on fasting. Fasting also does this. When your body is in a fasted state, it doesn't have to focus on digestion. It goes out and it starts to clean up cellular waste. It helps the body clear out old damaged mitochondria, which are the powerhouse of the cell, and replaces them with healthy ones. It's vital for maintaining energy and reducing cellular aging. Urolithin A also helps with muscle function, and I didn't include this in here, but there's a really interesting clinical study that it may improve muscle strength and endurance. And in that study, they actually had a control group that, I'm not recommending don't exercise, but in their control group, they had a group that did not exercise, and they had increases in strength and muscle function just by supplementing with urolithin A. So it may extend both health span, quality of life, and potentially your lifespan. So you can think of urolithin A as a cellular housekeeper. It helps keep your energy factories clean and efficient, and for seniors that can mean more vitality, stronger muscles, and healthier aging. Oh, I keep going the wrong way. It's backwards. Molecular hydrogen. Anyone heard of this one? Hydrogen water? Yes? Got a few yeses. Hydrogen water, or water that's infused with hydrogen is a gas, right? Is being studied for its potential health benefits. Some of these may be especially helpful for seniors. They range from antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. Molecular hydrogen acts as a selective antioxidant, neutralizing harmful free radicals without disrupting normal cellular processes. It may help reduce chronic low-grade inflammation, which is linked to arthritis, heart disease, and other age-related conditions. It can support brain health. Early research suggests that hydrogen water may protect brain cells against oxidative stress. We know what oxidative stress is, right? You ever set a penny out in the weather and it starts to corrode? That's oxidative stress. You don't want it in your brain or in your body, but we all have it. So antioxidants help prevent against free radicals, which reduce the oxidative stress in the brain and throughout the body. Joint and muscle recovery. By reducing oxidative stress and inflammation, hydrogen water may help decrease joint discomfort. Anybody? Joint discomfort? And stiffness, making daily movement and exercise easier. We all want that, right? Energy and mitochondrial function. Molecular hydrogen may improve mitochondrial efficiency. Again, the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. If your mitochondria aren't functioning well and you have mitochondrial dysfunction, you're going to have a lot of problems. Energy, sluggish, brain fog, it goes on and on. So we want healthy mitochondria. So molecular hydrogen is also shown in studies that it may improve blood lipid panels, reduce blood sugar, and support vascular function. So I wouldn't say it's a miracle molecule, but it has some really promising effects, and it's super simple. I brought this. This is the product that I take. I don't make any money. I don't sell it, but it's very simple. It's a tablet. There's only one left in this one. I got to reorder. You pop it out of the bubble. You put it in 4 to 6 ounces of filtered water, and it effervesces. It looks like plop, plop, fizz, fizz, whatever that is. And once it's done effervescing, maybe a minute or two, Alka-Seltzer, thank you. After it's done effervescing, you drink that water. So this is molecular magnesium. The magnesium releases hydrogen gas into the water. If you leave it sitting there and you forget about it, you come back an hour later, well, all the hydrogen gas is already gone. So you put it in there, you wait for it to effervesce, and you drink it, and it's that simple. I think they're less than $1 a tablet once a day. So that's molecular hydrogen.
What is that called?
I'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Just take a note, get back to me. The research on hydrogen water is still emerging, but while the results are very promising, it should be seen as a complement to and not a replacement of established health habits. Then I compiled some real simple routine things that we can do here. Morning sample routine. None of this costs any money except for the supplements if you do that route. Hydrate with clean water. Start the day with a glass of filtered water, adding maybe a splash of lemon. There's research that shows the lemon helps with the detoxification processes of the kidneys and the liver, room temperature. Gentle movement, 5 to 10 minutes of stretching upon waking, a brisk walk to wake up your muscles, joints, and circulation. Mindful breathing, now that you have your hand out, you know how to do your deep diaphragmatic breathing, you can practice even just 5 minutes of breathing. Helps oxygenate the brain, oxygenate the muscles, improves your alertness and your mental acuity. Followed by a nutritious breakfast. Choose one with whole foods, nutrient-rich, protein, fiber, healthy fats. Examples would be eggs and spinach, Greek yogurt with nuts and berries. Maybe you'll add walnuts after that research study on the health benefits of walnuts. And then your smart supplementation, taking your daily essentials, your B3, your D3 and B12, and other things recommended by your provider. It's simple, right? Simple stuff. Just put that up on your refrigerator. It's a reminder. Change your morning routine. We got a midday routine. A balanced lunch. Vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats for sustained energy and blood sugar stabilization. Social connections. Share a meal. Call a friend. Join a group activity at the ARC. Social ties reduce stress and boost longevity. Short walk, brisk movement, support dietary, heart health, and joint mobility. And I have something I want to digress to real quick. Walking after meals. There's a research study published in Sports Medicine Journal in 2022, and they analyzed multiple trials and found that taking a short walk, as little as 2 to 5 minutes after eating, significantly reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes compared to sitting. So if I would say there's a window of time of something you could do today after you leave here is every time you eat, walk. 2 to 5 minutes. More would be better in this case, up to 15 minutes, but 2 to 5 minutes instead of eating on the couch or going straight to the couch after eating. Because this research is so powerful in the control of blood sugar. And it's something we can all do very easily. The effect was especially strong for people with type 2 diabetes or who are also already insulin resistant. After a meal, blood sugar naturally rises because we've eaten something. Keeping those spikes low helps reduce stress on the pancreas and the cardiovascular system. Even light movement, like a slow 10-minute walk around the ARC campus, plug for the ARC campus, after lunch or dinner can improve how your body uses insulin. It forces that sugar in the blood out into the working muscles. Over time, this habit supports better energy, better health, and reduces the risk of diabetic complications. And the longevity connection, we all know that high blood sugar is not good, and that it ties into a lot of different comorbidities, not even just the diabetes itself. So stable blood sugar means less inflammation and less oxidative stress. You're not that penny sitting out in the weather. Since chronic high blood sugar is linked to accelerated aging and conditions like dementia, heart disease, fertility, walking after meals is a simple but very powerful longevity tool. Think of it this way: each step after a meal helps your body burn off some of the sugar from the food, keeping your energy steady and your body healthier for the long run. Did I go through the midday routine? Mindfulness pause. After your walk, after you eat, a mindfulness pause, just a time to sit and be grateful. Think about all the things that you're grateful for. Gratitude increases pleasure in life, and it increases your happiness, basically. If you focus on the bad, you're going to feel bad. If you focus on the good, you're going to feel better. And we all have a lot to be grateful for. And then an evening routine. Light dinner. Again, remember that when we eat, it's fuel for the next 4 hours. If your next 4 hours are only going to consist of your 5-minute walk, probably don't need a lot of carbohydrates for sure, right? That's just the source of energy. So focusing on vegetables, protein, and fewer processed foods. Avoiding heavy sugar or high carbohydrate meals. Reducing that toxic exposure. Instead of putting your leftovers in a plastic it's already sitting in, put it in glass. I know it was already there, but it continues to become more toxic over time. So just something as simple as avoiding that plastic, don't heat the plastic, choosing natural cleaning or self-care products if possible. A lot of those PFAs and forever chemicals are hidden in everyday products. You really got to look. And then consistent sleep. Having a wind down ritual. We talked a little bit about sleep hygiene. Watching a screen is the single worst thing you can do, even if it's a computer screen or a phone screen, laying in bed and scrolling. I have implemented something in my house where the phones are no longer allowed in the bedroom. They are plugged in the closet, which is at the end of the bathroom, and the alarm is loud enough to still wake us up, because there's a lot of scrolling going on. And it wakes me up, because every time he'd wake up, he'd grab his phone and then the light's on and he's scrolling. I digress. But staying away from that blue light several hours before you go to bed will help with your circadian rhythms. Something else that helps is getting sunshine in your face early morning when the sun is rising. Not staring into it and burning your retina, but that's how we know day and night. Getting sunlight in the evening as the sun is going down, it cues your brain to circadian rhythms, when it's time to rise and when it's time to sleep. Guided meditations can help, gentle music. Consistently striving for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. I know that's a lot. If you're only getting 4, strive for 5 or 6. It's about increasing and improving from where you are to that ultimate goal, to where you want to be, so that your body can repair, clear toxins, and restore energy. There's the slide. I had to get ahead because I was so pumped about this. This is something else we've implemented at our dinner at home. We all go for a walk, just without the dogs, none of that. We just go for a walk, and it's a good way to connect, but also I tell him, hurry up, I'm trying to burn some sugar off, let's go. So again, something that we can all do, and over time, again, it's these small habits, these little things that add up and really have a large impact. So just to recap, daily habits for longevity. Drinking plenty of clean water throughout the day. Clean up the water. Try to find filtered water. Filter your own water. I know there was a resident in here, I won't say names, that was talking about getting a system added to their house. They live in a cottage. I talked to maintenance and I talked to Air One. You can purchase a system and they can come out and install it underneath your faucet and your sink. Again, there are the countertop versions. Choose whole, nutrient-rich foods. Move your body. You have a fabulous fitness center. You've got fabulous exercise programs in place. Plug yourself in somewhere if you're not. If not, dance in your kitchen. Turn on music you like. Just move your body. Protect your detox systems by reducing toxic exposures. Obviously, reducing alcohol or eliminating it. Not smoking. Hopefully no one in here smokes. If you do, I hope you don't. Stay socially connected. Manage your stress with mindfulness, breathing, and meditation, and prioritizing restful, consistent sleep. I have a list of references from research articles that I used throughout this presentation if you're interested, just so you know this is all science-based. And then I have time for questions and reflections. You don't have to answer these out loud, but I just want to pose these to you, and then we'll go around the room, and I'll do my best to answer questions. In your mind, or with a pen, or however you want to do it, what is one small change that you can start today? I would even go further. What is one small change that you will commit to starting today?
Rain dance.
Yeah. You don't have to say them out loud. Which strategy from today's presentation feels most doable for you? Again, we don't want to set ourselves up for failure. Don't try to put a square peg in a round hole. Find things that fit your lifestyle, things that you're going to be able to maintain so that you set yourself up for success. And then how can the ARC Wellness Program support your health journey? And with that, I'll close the presentation. I'm going to open up the microphone for questions. I'll do my best to answer what I can, or give you a reference, or bring something to you after the fact to answer your question. I can't walk past that thing right there with this microphone, so I'm going to let you guys hand it back to me, and then I'll give it to whomever. There was a question somewhere in the front. I don't want to go out of order, but
That molecular hydrogen thing.
make sure that's on. It's just called molecular hydrogen. There are all different brands. If you Google search it, this one is made by Miracle Molecule, but it comes in a packet. They all look very similar to this. They're in a little blister tab. You drop it into water. I can give you some references for that if you want to stop by my desk. Yeah.
Thanks for mentioning the vitamins and the the hydrogen water.
You're very welcome.
I have a question about copper water bottles.
Okay.
If you've ever used them, if you think
Copper?
copper and minerals in general, because I think minerals are an important, magnesium, but also the other minerals on the
Yes.
periodic table.
Yes.
And second question, saunas. Do you know of any places in San Antonio where we can go for saunas?
Yes, I do. And as for the other minerals, you're absolutely correct. They are very important. I don't personally use a copper water bottle, but I understand the science behind it. It's like, I can give you, for instance, cooking with a cast iron skillet, you get iron in the food. If you're drinking out of a copper water bottle, you're going to get some of that residual copper into your body, and copper is a great thing to have. It's a mineral that we need. And then as far as sauna, the place that I go is called BioWorks. BioWorks has a location in Cibolo, right off of Cibolo Valley Drive, across from the Walmart, but there are many places like that coming up and around. They have cold plunge. I know you guys don't want to do that. They have cold plunge, they have cryotherapy, they have infrared sauna, and their infrared sauna also has the red light therapy included in it. So red light therapy is a certain level of light that penetrates to the body and actually helps improve mitochondria health. Just by setting in red light, it's not painful, it's not exceptionally warm, and it has shown to be as beneficial as being in the sun if you're not able to be in the sunlight. But they offer all those things there. You can buy packages, you can buy a one-time day pass, however you like to do that. And there are many places like that, regenerative wellness places popping up all over. In the back.
The name of the amino acid complex that you take.
The one I take is called Perfect Amino. It's from a company called Body Health. You can find them on the internet under Body Health. They are third-party tested.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
What does an apple a day do for you?
Depends on if it's organic or not. An apple a day, the old saying, right, keeps the doctor away. And I would just say to you that apples can help with hydration. They have fiber in the skin. Of course, if that apple is bioengineered to have the most sugar possible, probably not the same apple that your grandmother ate. And then we want to be careful with pesticides. Any vegetation that you're eating the skin, if it's not organic, you want to give it that bath. with the baking soda because the baking soda draws the toxins out and clings to them and helps to clean it. Yes.
Are the styrofoam boxes they use in the dining room for leftover takeouts as bad as I think they are?
Yes.
Is there a substitute?
Oh, there's an option. It's just more expensive. If you ever been to Whole Foods, this is the first place that comes to mind. It's recycled paper. The to-go containers and all the containers, it's recycled paper. They don't use any plastic. Even the lids to like their little condiment things are paper, recycled paper.
Glass would be better.
Oh, glass would definitely be better. Yeah, 100%. Yes.
We need to get sun. Is walking with a hat on as good as walking without a hat on?
I don't know that the hat matters a whole lot because your hair is covering your head. If the hat is blocking sun rays from your eyes and your face, I mean, you're not getting the same benefit. And it doesn't have to be sun at 12 o'clock noon where you're going to go out there and cook yourself. We're talking, morning sun where the rays have less UV light than midday or later in the day. Probably somewhere you can be in private and expose your skin. Because the more exposure you get, right? You need less time of it. You get more of it because more of your skin is exposed. I don't want to see naked people on the balcony, all right? Yeah, that's what I expect. Yes.
I'm pretty good on taking the supplements, but how do you know the portion is right? They come in different milligrams, and is it for? But just taking basic every day, or
Well, each
how do you know?
each supplement from the FDA or the Drug Administration has, for the most part, a required daily allowance, RDAs. So you can go to their website, you can find those. You can also talk to your healthcare practitioner. Generally speaking, on the back of the bottle, it's going to tell you, and those are going to follow the RDAs, to my understanding.
Okay.
So we talked about mega dosing. There isn't any reason to go above and beyond
Right.
what it says on the back of the label.
Good, thanks.
You're welcome. My little helper. She's getting her steps in. I wonder if she just ate.
You talked about sauna. Would being in the hot tub help at all? Like at the pool?
I would say possibly. And I thought about this yesterday as a possible question that might come up. It's hard to determine if you're sweating when you're in the water. I suspect you are. I've been in a sauna before where I was like, well, I got to get out because everything from the neck up was sweating. Which is kind of weird. You're in there, everybody's sweating, but anyway, I would say yes. And in other ways too, not just the natural detox and the sweating, but it's good to challenge your body in hot environments and cold environments because it keeps things working in a way that they should. If we maintain the status quo, we're constantly looking for comfort. That's kind of where aging lives, is in the comfort zone.
Would you talk a little bit about taking a nap?
I think we should have a demonstration.
Is like
Yeah.
an hour too much or a half hour? Or how?
The research shows that even a 15-minute nap can have great benefit. I think where it becomes less effective is depending on what cycle of sleep you're in when you wake up. If you get into a really deep sleep and you're awoken from a nap, you may not feel refreshed at all. And I can give you more information on sleep cycles, REM sleep, and those types of things if you would like it. But even a short nap can make a big difference. And sometimes shorter is better in the nap realm.
Carrie, is it dangerous to saute meats? I'm thinking of the ones from Liberty Market that sometimes need a little bit of character in olive oil to kind of perk them up. Is that good or bad?
Sauteing in olive oil can have a lot of health benefits. The issues with the oils is when we get into the seed oils. You wouldn't want to do olive oil at a really high heat because it can start to oxidize. There are better fats for that. But low temperature cooking, sauteing in olive oil is great. Yeah.
Carrie, I'm always concerned about interrupted sleep, which I have a lot of.
You know, I'm getting 7 or 8 hours, but it's not 7 or 8 hours at the same time.
I would just say to that, we do the best we can with the circumstances that we have, and 7 or 8 interrupted hours of sleep is better than 3 or 4 uninterrupted, because you're still getting that total over time, right? And then just try and, if the best you can, to take those interruptions out. Maybe they're bathroom trips. I don't know, that even happens in my house. What do you do? I got up the other night to use the restroom, turned around and walked into a closed door. I had a hard time getting back to sleep. It was very disturbing. But again, over time, if you're still getting that 7 to 8 hours, again, the reason naps work, right? You don't ever make up for it, but that's better than not getting the sleep at all, for sure. And again, I'll put together a packet on sleep, some research and some information. I think that would be beneficial for a lot of people. Yeah. Anyone?
Yeah.
She's coming with the microphone. Oh,
I don't know how many people might be using a CPAP machine at night, but if you are, look at your statistics, however you see it on the machine or on your phone, and it tells you some good things about your sleep or not so good.
yeah.
And the other part is the deep breathing. That's what I do when I have the mask on, because it's already pushing air.
Yeah.
It really expands. I can inhale longer than I do just normally. Try some breathing with your CPAP.
Agreed. CPAPs, my husband uses a CPAP. It does have the information. There are a lot of wearables nowadays, but if you don't want to get into technology, there's a thing called an Aura Ring. If you sleep with your smartwatch on, which I don't recommend, it also has a sleep app, and I guess through movement and heart rate, it can tell you how much sleep you had. To me, when I wake up, I know if I'm well rested or not well rested. If you have the data available to you, or you're just a data-driven person and you want those kinds of things, certainly those are tools that can help. Thank you for that addition. We have one over here in the back, Ms. Bevins.
She's getting her workout.
She didn't have balance class today, so she's making up for it.
Just getting tested for sleep apnea,
Yes.
that may be the problem. You don't know you've got it.
That's very true.
The other thing is, the other day, I went to the pharmacist to talk to him about the COVID and the flu vaccine, and he mentioned not taking supplements 3 to 4 days before getting the COVID or the flu shot.
That is outside my realm of expertise.
Yeah,
I would
that's-
stick with whatever the pharmacist
Yeah.
told you, or dig deeper into that on your own, because I have no idea.
Yeah, he said that was something relatively new that had come out.
I think I have seen that or read that somewhere, but that's outside my realm of expertise. Sorry.
Thank you. Also, I just read, because I had an extremely bad case of COVID on the ship, they now know that COVID reduces your vitamin B12 in your body, and that's part of the fatigue that lasts after COVID. So taking a good B12, I can also tell you the VA will give you the injectable, which is pretty easy to use because it's with a little short insulin needle. And I've had 4 injections since I got home, probably overdosed. But the fatigue that goes with the COVID can partially be remediated with B12.
Did everyone hear that? Okay. What I take at home, it's a sublingual, it's a liquid B12. You put 5 or 6 drops under your tongue. It's actually methylated B12. We can get into a whole other thing where some people have the gene that they can't methylate things, so it's not in its active form. But there are a lot of ways to take it. Injection's one of them, but it can be as simple as putting it right under your tongue every morning. It comes in a tablet or in a liquid form. Anyone else?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Class dismissed. I'll be here if you want to talk to me privately. I will put together sleep packets that I will make available to you. And thank you guys for being here.